Hello and welcome to another video. A quick message. I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers, so maybe you guys could help me out if you like my videos and subscribe and help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. That would be great. Let's see if we can do that. Now, on with the video. Here I'm going to review this S2200 Smart Charger from Spektrum. So I'll just give you guys a look at it here. I'm zoomed in a bit and that's kind of what I did. Yeah, it's fairly solid. We've got a power switch on the back. I'm connected here to 220, so it'll be different in the States, I guess. There's our logo here. These grips, very easy to grip, pick up, handle. Very happy with it. So here's our screen, buttons on the front. I just go over this. So here we can plug in our ICE connectors. We got the ICE 3 on the top, and if you want to put in a bigger one, you flip that up, you can put in the ICE 5s on the bottom. You can only have 2 plugged in at a time, not 4. I'm using these mostly. And here are other connectors here and here. They're black, and the plastic around them is all black, which makes it a little bit difficult when you're plugging in a black connector, at least for me. There's channel 1 here on this side, 2S to 6S, channel 2, 2S to 6S. So, and we have some more plugs, nothing on this side, we have some plugs on this side. So this one here, I don't know why they don't use USB-C cables nowadays, but it's the same with my NX8 charger. It's also micro USB, weird. You can plug this into your computer and you can update the firmware, and I'll just give you a quick view at the end of updating the firmware to show you the instructions. It's pretty straightforward. This is a USB plug that you can use to charge things if you like, I guess. So what I normally do is I will take this USB cable here, okay, so I can plug it in here, okay, for updating the firmware, or I can use the other side and I can plug it in here. This is what I like to do, and then I'll plug the other side into the back, there we go, of my transmitter. That way I can charge my transmitter at the same time that I'm charging all my batteries with just one device. So I like that. Alternatively, I have a little, for the very small batteries, a little USB charging device that can put 6 of these tiny batteries on. I can plug that in there as well and charge batteries for my Blade Nano helicopter or something while I'm working. So that's pretty good. I have some batteries here. This is the Gen 1. Yeah, you see we have 2 cables on the end, so we have this intelligent pin in the middle, but we also have this. I put some tape over there because on all of my batteries I have a label here that says my battery number, my name and my phone number. That way when I'm out, I know I start with battery 1 and then I use battery number 2 and so on and so forth. Here is our Gen 2 battery. You can see down here it has Gen 2. And main difference with this is we only have 1 cable. There's no balance lead. And this is just an older battery, standard one with this lead, and it's not smart. So I just show you how to charge all 3 different ones. So first thing I did was of course update the firmware when I got this, which is nice. We can switch it on and hopefully you guys will be able to see that pretty clearly. So switches on, there's a quick fan test, and then up comes the screen which I can focus on here. If you want to charge your Gen 2 battery, this is all you have to do. You get your Gen 2 battery and we will plug it in. And now it started. It's initializing the charging. So this charger is talking to the chip that's in here, and it's telling me that it's going to charge here. You can see charging and remaining charging time. We'll calculate that in a few seconds. Charging capacity, charging rate. It's telling me there's 22 minutes remaining to fill this battery, which is generally fairly accurate. Another thing we can do when we're in here now is we can maybe scroll down. We can see the different cells. You can see some more charging information there, which is nice. I can press and hold this button and I can stop charging if I want, or I can go down here and look at the battery history, and the battery history will show me that this battery has been charged 21 times. The battery temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. So press this now. I can also go to the tasks here. I could, for example, go up and change my charging task and put it into discharge, or maybe say storage. I can go down here. You can see the type of battery, 3S, 4S. I can change that, but I mean, I'm not going to change it because it's all automatic, and it's the automatic settings are correct. Okay, but now it's on storage, so I press start, and now it's going to start discharging until it reaches storage voltage. The fan comes on, and it's going to basically using the powering of the fan and some other things to discharge this, but that's not really necessary with these smart batteries. So let me do this. I'll stop that process again, and I can show you. So to get into the menu, we press and hold the play button. There's a few buttons. This is up, this is down. Somehow in my mind they should be the opposite way around. And this is channel 1, this is channel 2. So you switch over to channel 2 here. It's not gonna, there's nothing in there anyway. Okay, so now what I can do here is I can go smart battery settings, system settings, charger history. So let's go to smart battery settings. Auto storage is set to 72 hours. So what that means is that even though my battery is a little bit higher voltage than storage voltage, after 72 hours of it not being used, the chip will automatically start to reduce the voltages down to storage voltage after 72 hours. So you can change this here, and you can pick the number of hours that you want. I have it on 72. You can change it to whatever you like. So I'll charge up my batteries full, and then I'll go flying. Maybe it might get cancelled, so then I don't. Then I go the next day. But if I'm not going to go the next day, then something came up, I had to leave, whatever. It's nice to know that after a certain amount of time, they will go down to their storage voltage, so that will be safer to keep the batteries. It's nice that it does that automatically. Normally what I do then is I fly my battery to about 35%, and then I just put it in the bag, and that's relatively close to storage voltage, and then I know the chip is going to bring it down to storage voltage by itself, so I don't need to come home and plug them all in again after flying. Different charge settings there. You can check the battery history, things like that. Okay, so let's pop this one out. So as you see, that's pretty easy. All you're doing is you just simply plug in one cable and it charges. That's great. If you didn't want it to do that, I can go into the menu here and I can go all the way down to system settings, and you have you can change the lights. The completion tone I have set to a single beep. By default it comes out and it's set to beep every couple of minutes, and it just irritates me. I have a friend who has one of these that I gave him, and he likes it beeping all the time because it reminds him. I don't. So different people want different things. It's nice to know you can change it. Here's auto charge settings. So if I turn off auto charge, that means that when I plug it in, it won't charge until I start it. So if you're plugging in and out a lot of batteries that you want to discharge, or you want to do various different things, you can leave auto charge turned off. I like to have it on, as I said, because what I'm normally doing is I just plug things in, charging them, flying to 35%, throw them back in the bag, and let the smart chip change the voltage. So now if we have generation 1 battery, oh, one last thing with this. The only disadvantage with these is that if you go and you're flying and you don't have your charger, and now you're relying on somebody else who has an older style charger or non-smart charger, you won't be able to charge this because it doesn't have a balance lead. So you need to use basically one of these smart chargers to charge it. For me, that's not a problem because this is actually quite nice and it fits into my transmitter case. So I just take it with me and plug it in. It's very easy. That might be a disadvantage for some people. If you want to get these batteries and you don't have one of these chargers, then that wouldn't make much sense. We can check here for any errors on the battery. Okay, we have no errors on the battery. And then battery update is nice because I can go in here. There's none available at the moment, but if there is an update, it will update the firmware on the battery. Okay, so that's why you want to have the firmware on your charger up to date, because when the firmware on your charger is up to date, then it will update the firmware on the battery. That's the new style 2200. So we can go here now to the generation 1 2200. It still has a chip in there, but for this one you need to plug in the two cables. And the interesting thing here is this is, there we go, that's black. Okay, so it's not the easiest to see and plug in, so I kind of just go along here diagonally, find the edge, and then in it goes. And then this one goes in here, and now that one is going to automatically start to charge. There we go, because auto charge is on. So it's very easy, you just simply plug them in and they charge, they figure themselves out. So I'll stop this one now. Okay, I plug it out. Okay, here is one that is not smart. Okay, so I gotta plug in my lead, but the good thing here is at least the lead is white. So let's plug that in. This up so you can see it. That's gonna go in there. Okay, and now I get some information. This one is gonna go in here. Okay, now it does not automatically start to charge. Okay, I need to go into my menu, and now I will need to set it up manually. Okay, it is I've done this before, so it's remembering some stuff, but it's a LiPo, it's a 3S, current 5.5 amps. Okay, my cable fell out there. Okay, they always seem to be on the wrong side for some reason. Okay, so this is a 3000 milliamp hour battery. So in other words, it's a 3 amp hour battery, I guess. Is that correct? Let me know below. I don't know why they don't just call it a 3 amp hour battery. That would make way more sense, but anyway. Okay, so let's go in here. So 5 amps is obviously too much for this. That. And I'm going to change it to 3. Okay. And now down here. So you just kind of have to set these up like you would, I guess, on a non-smart charger. Hit start, and now it starts. And it's not going to know more or less how long it's going to take to charge, so it's just going to give you the overall charging time, and it's going to keep it at a steady 3 amps and charge. So that's, so yeah, you can stop. Okay, you're not gonna get history or fault log or anything with that, but you can charge your collection of existing batteries if you have some of those. Okay, so okay, so there's the box. Comes in a nice box. You got all your information there on the back. I also bought a 4S battery that I haven't taken out of the box yet. So let's okay, there we go. Let's take this out here. Have some paper. There's my battery, some packaging. Okay. Get rid of that, take this out. So this is a Gen 2 that comes with some sticky tape. Okay. This is going to be for flying my Cirrus plane. Again, one connector on here. IC3. Okay, bring back my charger, and we can just pop this in here. And oops, that's it, just starts charging like that. So I don't have to worry about any settings, anything like that. I can go here to my menu and just double check that I did indeed receive a new battery cycles 0. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so maybe I should have stopped it before I plugged it out. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think I should stop the charge before I plug it out. I'm guessing I probably should. I don't know if it makes any difference. Just going online to do the firmware update. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. They have some instructions on their website. Read the instructions. Make sure that you have the right firmware for the right device, otherwise you can kill your device. Make sure that when you're updating the firmware you have a steady electrical system wherever you are, not that the electricity cuts out halfway through a firmware update. That's another way you can kill your device. And once you have updated the firmware, then it will be able to update the firmware on the batteries. Oh, I don't know if this battery needs a firmware update. We can check. I can put it in here. Okay, now let me see, and down, smart battery settings, system settings, charger history, back. Okay, smart battery settings maybe. Here we go. Now we can do a battery update, because this new battery that I bought does not have the latest firmware on the chip, but this device does. So I go to battery update, and now I'm asked, do I want to update my smart battery? And then it timed out. Okay, that's great. And battery update, yes. Now it's going to update the firmware on my battery. So the new version of the firmware apparently improves the chip function on the inside, and it says that it, if I recall right, it says that it needs a little bit less power consumption to run the chip maybe. Anyway, it's useful to update the firmware on these. So I showed you updating the firmware on that. I also have this battery checker that I got actually, which you can also, I probably should check that firmware is up to date. Battery checker is quite nice. I'll do another video about that maybe later. It's a simple little device, and to be honest, you don't really need to check the batteries. If you have smart batteries and a smart receiver and a smart transmitter, the battery checker is not really needed. One thing I do like it for is checking other batteries for other people if they need to, and also I use it for using the servos. So if you want to install some servos, it's nice to install the servo in the airplane at the correct position, and instead of having to hook it up and put in a battery and hook up your transmitter, you can just use this to change the position. So I'll show you that in the next video. Okay, we're updating. It's nearly done, 86%. Ding, ding, ding. Maybe I can skip through this little piece. And there we go. Press button to exit, exited. So now my new battery has the latest firmware. And it's charging. So let's press this button and stop it. Let me know in the comments if you think there's anything I could improve on or any better way of doing it. So that's now stopped charging. I'll take it out. I wonder if my 2200 battery firmware, I could have left it in and used the other port. That's, you know, let's go here and let's go to let's go. So you know, if you wanted to update a lot of batteries firmware, then you probably don't want auto charging turned on. Okay, so let's go here and scroll down. Smart battery settings, battery update. See, I can't get into the battery update here because this is already up to date, so that's fine. Good. And is there anything else I need to say about this? I'll show you the firmware update on it. That's basically the charger. It's quite nice. I like it. Another nice thing here is you have your power button on the back, so you can leave it powered off when you're figuring out your plugs and cables wherever you're going. Yep. Done.